Every movement eventually hits the same wall, the departure of its visionary founder. When the central figure leaves, the entire organizational structure is immediately at risk of collapsing. These massive stone walls represent the threat waiting for the Apostle Paul in Jerusalem. After years of building the early church across the Mediterranean, he is heading straight for the city, fully aware that bonds and afflictions are his certain future. He is a marked man. As he moves through Macedonia and Greece, dodging a literal assassination plot from his enemies, his journey becomes a desperate race to outrun those seeking his life. The clock is ticking. He is pushing across the sea, bypassing entire regions to ensure he reaches Jerusalem in time for the Feast of Pentecost. By choosing this path, Paul is walking toward his own capture, forcing a leadership crisis long before his work is technically finished. Amidst this rush, Paul stops. He anchors in Miletus and summons the elders of the Ephesian church to come to him, gathering the leaders of the entire Asian region at this historic site. The meeting functions as a calculated transfer of power, designed specifically to ensure the movement survives its founder. Paul's strategy begins with the demand for relentless dedication, emphasizing that a leader must withhold nothing from those they serve, regardless of the cost. He demonstrated this level of intensity days earlier in Troas. Knowing his time was limited, Paul preached to the local disciples continuously until midnight. In the heat and smoke of the crowded upper room, a young man named Eutychus fell asleep. He lost his balance and plunged 3 stories out of a window, dying on impact. Paul rushed down and revived the boy, but he didn't stop there. He immediately went back upstairs, ate a meal, and taught until sunrise. This illustrates his core requirement for leadership, leaving nothing unsaid and pushing past physical limits to ensure the next generation is fully equipped. A leader's defense also relies on financial humility and total transparency. Paul reminded the elders that he never sought anyone's silver or gold. Instead, he used these hands to work manual labor, supporting himself and his entire team through his own grit. He anchors this behavior in the words of Jesus, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." This economic independence served a strategic purpose. It protected the church from corruption and proved that the leadership existed for the benefit of the people. The final instruction is a blunt threat assessment. Paul warns the elders that as the Holy Spirit makes them overseers, the responsibility of protection now shifts entirely to them. Paul warns that once he departs, grievous wolves will attack the flock from the outside. Even more dangerous is the internal threat. Corrupted men will rise from within, twisting the truth to splinter the group and draw followers away. The true test of these successors lies in their vigilance against internal rot, identifying corruption before it can splinter the group's foundation. Following these instructions, the meeting reaches its breaking point. Paul kneels in the dirt and prays with the elders one last time. The leaders react with profound sorrow, weeping as they embrace him for the last time. The finality of his departure is now real. They accept the devastating fact that they will never see his face again. The elders escort Paul to his ship, watching him sail towards certain imprisonment with a sense of complete peace. This transition marks the most important turning point in the movement's early history. The final proof of Paul's leadership is his willingness to aggressively give power away, ensuring the mission outlives his own presence.